Yes, what's up, guys? Straight from the chest. My name is Justin Groth. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in with me on this wonderful Wednesday. This is another episode of my, this is the Straight from the Chest personal development podcast, guys. I gotta just initiate the ones that are new. Guys, if you're new to this, like I said, this whole podcast is predicated on extracting the dormant passion that lies within you. And I definitely don't go about it in a way that's probably the most fitting for you. I may say some things that might irritate you. They might pierce you. They might cause you to be frustrated with me. But it's all in a pursuit to progress you and help you identify what is lacking in your life and maybe what you need to add to your life to transcend your current position. And that's really the reason why I even do this. And if you've been listening to me for any length of time, you already understand that. But for those that are new and that are uninitiated, I'd like to kind of just preface that. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving me your listening ear. It does mean a lot to me, man. And people are just so consumed with being better. And people are so consumed with the complexity behind being better or finding what they're great at or finding their pursuit of meaning or their purpose rather. And really it starts with you doing things to make yourself better, but on the low end. Like cleaning your car out if it's dirty, like cleaning your room if it's a mess, like taking a walk, like adding in a healthier food in place of a worse food, like drinking more water, like taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator, like doing the dishes before you leave the house for the day so you can come home to a clean kitchen. All these things are minuscule but they're so easily applied to your life. But if you don't have the ordinance behind it, and you don't have the structure in place, or you don't have the discipline to carry these small tasks that seemingly are meaningless, but so imperative to your growth and your transcendence as an individual, then you really won't see what you're made of. Because it starts with these small blocks here. But some of us are aiming way too high, and we set way too high a goal. And then we see that as that's unattainable. Well, it's attainable if I do everything perfectly for the next year or two. Well, let me break some news to you. You're not going to do everything perfectly in the next year or two to attain this first feat, this first goal you have. You're not. You know why? Because you suck. You suck because you're a human. And you suck in a way that's not your identity or label, but you definitely are going to mess up. You're going to foul up. That's why I say you suck. We all suck because we're humans and we foul up. It's just a part of being a human being. But it doesn't mean that that's where the buck stops. And like I said, it doesn't mean that's your label. You have to continuously try to transcend your old self every single day. And you do that by small feats in life. By committing to small feats. So like I said, clean your room, man. Clean your car out. If you have water bottles on the floorboard of your car, clean that out. That should not be there because there's no place for water bottles at the end of the floorboard. There's no place for them. You know what their place is? The trash. But you gotta develop and adopt some type of ordinance to your life, or else you're just living in chaos. And this world is full of chaos already. Your pivot should be doing everything you can to get out of chaos and have order in your life and have structure. Because I'm going to tell you this, every great thing comes from being structured in life. It's where organization comes from. It's where discipline comes from. All those things are yielded by having structure. And I would argue then having and also in addition to that, having a hierarchy or a deity that you abide in and are obedient to. So for me, that's God, that's Jesus. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't have the order that I have. I wouldn't have the conscience that I have. I wouldn't be obedient to anything. I would be living in my own anarchy. And that is not a good place to be. And I don't know about you, but if there's no structure, there's no deity that you are respectful to, that you have a good fear associated with. And that's important to note, a good fear. Not a bad fear. Because obviously there's a fear. There's two different types of fears in life. Having a good fear is something that can transcend your individual potential. And the hard thing is being able to adopt that as normalcy in a world that's begetting more chaos and actually going in the alternate direction where evil is becoming the good thing to do. And malevolence is actually prized. It may not seem that way, but if you take a look, that's the banner. That's what's going on. So, and I say these small things like cleaning and walking and adding in water to your life. I mean, like these things, guys, these things are so minuscule, they're so trivial, but they're not. There are the things, these are the components that you add to your life that actually transcend your shittier version today. Do you know what I mean? But it's imperative that you do so. And start aiming. Don't aim so high. Don't have such big goals that they take you a year or two to accomplish. Like, you know how much stuff happens in a year or two that can throw you off track and twist you out of organization or twist you out of perseverance for that certain particular thing. Like, you guys, me included, the smaller feats is where the victories lie. Because the victories will add up. These little victories will add up. But what you're not understanding or relishing in, which is, I would argue, far more vastly important to your transcendence, is that all these small victories are adding to your self-confidence and self-esteem and self-worth. And now, because you have a higher worth and a higher confidence associated with what you can handle psychologically and just overall in your life, you're able to now establish a higher regard and a higher aura to people that you're around, which will definitely attract different people in your life, people that you probably want in your life, and it will exile people that you don't want in your life. And really that happens just organically when you start to embody these and you start to apply rather these small feats in your life. That's why that's so important. It's much more important than the big goal that you may set for a year or two down the road, because oftentimes when you set those goals, you never achieve them. You know why? You guessed it. Because you're a human and you suck. And you're not going to be perfect. But the goal shouldn't be to get an A on something. The goal shouldn't be to even get a B. The goal should be to just apply and then see what happens. Try it. Try cleaning your room one day and see how you feel coming home after work and then going into an organized, clean room. See how you feel. And then do it the next day, because you're going to like that feeling. You can't not like that feeling. You as a human, you're preconditioned to want organization and structure in your life. It's so, I don't know, it's just so it's so odd to me that you wouldn't want to chase that. I'm not saying you got to be perfect, but I am saying apply, man, and keep applying, and that's how you get better. And you'll know how you're getting better, because it's going to bleed into other orifices of your life. It's going to bleed into your work, into your relationships, into your vocation. It's gonna cause you to have more discipline and perseverance for things that you love and have a gravitational pull to. But if you never apply anything, you'll never know what you're made of, and you'll never adopt any kind of meaning or meaningful meaning in your life. Humans need two things. This is what I believe humans need to transcend their personal shit self into a better version each and every day. They need structure. Like, they need structure, discipline. They need a deity. So a hierarch of some sort. Something that causes them to respect and have a natural, organic, good fear towards. And then that's a part of the structure. And then they need meaning. So they need structure, a deity, and then they need meaning. Because if the person doesn't have any meaning, they feel like their existence isn't adding up to anything. And then that definitely is going to ensue with depression and oftentimes suicide. So what is it as you as a human being need to exist and need to actually gather the gumption to live every single day and wake up every single morning? Even if you're living, you're not living if you don't adopt some type of a structure to your life with regards to a deity, a good fear that's associated with that deity or hierarch, right? And then you need to adopt some type of a meaning in your life. And that comes often not with the big goals, but transcending over the small goals until you reach the top of that mountain, and then you can go climb another mountain because you're like, hey, I made it up that mountain. That was pretty easy. And you can stand back and you can be proud of it. You can stand back and look at your room and be proud of it. You can stand back and look at how many feet you just walked and be proud of that. But you can't be proud of nothing if you do nothing. And it's so simple to understand. This is not complex, people. It's so simple to understand. You're leaving so much on the table with who you are, with your worth, with your confidence, with your existence, if you don't tackle the small feats first. But the small feats obviously add up to the bigger feats in life. But you're not ready for that bigger feat yet. You're just not. If I walk into the gym and I haven't been lifting for 15 years and I get in there, I'm not going to go deadlift 400 pounds. It's not going to happen. I have to work up again. What makes you think that you're ready for that big task? What makes you think that you're even able to attain that big goal that you have? You got to start first with all the minutia. All the small things that cause you to actually have the elements and the constructs to be able to tackle the big stuff in the future. That's where you start. I hate the saying, but I love it. You know, it takes the first step to walk a mile or walk 1,000 steps, whatever that saying. I hate that saying. But it's so meaningful. I think I hate it because it's so... It's not original, but it's so true. But that first step is cleaning your room, man. That first step is cleaning your car out. No crap at the end of your floorboard. Are you kidding me? You're a grown-up. You're a grown adult, and you got shit on your floorboard. I mean, part of the reason why your parents don't allow you to have a passing grade by cleaning your room or cleaning the kitchen when they tell you to do so is because that's their responsibility to make you be the best person that they feel that you can be. And so that means being a little bit harder on you. That means inflicting an order and a type of discipline on you that you will not put on yourself because you're just too young to even understand what that would be, and B, you let yourself slide. And that's why structure is important, because structure causes you to not slide. And the less you slide, the more you climb. Do you understand that? The less you slide, the more you climb. Till you're at the top of the mountain and you can be proud looking down. Yes, I climbed all that way on my own. But you're not going to make yourself do that. You need some structure in place. And that's why I say you need structure, ordinance, like with a deity and with your own self-conscience. And that comes in part with being fearful over something in a good way and respecting something, respecting the fear in something in a good way. And then having meaning to your life, to your existence. Your parents were onto something when they told you, this room is subpar. You need to keep going. They were onto something. They knew something you didn't. They knew that in life, subpar is not going to work. They knew that subpar is going to raise a subpar human being. And it's your parents' responsibility to extract what they know you could be. And even beyond that. And so you hated them in the time. You hated them when they made you redo the kitchen. You hated them when they made you redo your room. Even when you sat back and you're like, yeah, this is good. But you knew it wasn't good enough. And you hated them that you had to work another hour on your room. That you had to re-scrub the counters in your kitchen because it wasn't good enough. But they have a responsibility, just like you're going to have a responsibility 10 years down the road in the future. And that responsibility that they're ingraining in you is going to actually come to your development to help you transcend the person that you are currently. And you're going to thank them for it then. You can't see it then. You can't see it at the moment. But obviously, when you're an adult, you understand why they did what they did. They knew something you didn't know. So I challenge you, every day, commit to doing something that's small but meaningful. All the examples I laid out are things that you can apply now, today. And it doesn't matter if you're 16 or 56. If you're listening and these things are piercing you, then you should apply them. The goal is to transcend your own self every single day. And you do that in part by small feat victories every single day. Done.